Howdy, folks. Welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. I am your host, Brent Elrod, the Bourbon Baron. I have a great show lined up for you today. Just pulling up my notes. I just finished my other podcast, if you haven't heard of it. It is The Political Patriot, and it does play on Spotify too. And I think I've only had this. I just did my third episode, so it's very, very new. I can't remember right now if the second episode is out on YouTube yet or not, but I know the first one is. It's called The Political Patriot. I drink whiskey while I'm doing it, but I don't, like do any kind of pairing stuff. All right. Give me just a second. We'll be ready to go. Last time I didn't hit record for the audio. Doing it this time. Hey, Stoners. Welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. I'm your host, Brent Elrod, the Bourbon Baron, coming to you from the patio, the No Shoes Bar and Grill, deep in the heart of the Republic of Texas. I have a really great show lined up for you today. I am doing a couple of, they're very economical pairings. Both of them are economical in nature, but they're definitely ones that you recognize the name. So I'm going to be pairing Crown Royal XO, extra old, extra aged, I don't know, with a Arturo Fuente Especiales, I think that's right, Cazadores. So, mi español, mi muy poquito, very little. But I think it's going to be a great episode. So right after this, we're going to pop the cork, cut the stick, get to toasting. Now, Crown Royal XO, they've had a couple of different iterations of this with different names, with basically the same spirit, but it is a blend of 50 different whiskeys. So there is no mash bill and screw top. If you're the most well-known name in Canadian whiskey, put a cork in it. But it is Diego Spirit, their distillery. It's 40% alcohol by volume, so 80 proof. It's Canadian whiskey. It is a non-age statement. And let me go ahead and glass some of this up here just a second. I will say it is very beautiful in the glass. We'll get to the visual here in just a second. Give me one moment. I wish I had a public service announcement thing. I have to answer this text from Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez. She calls, I answer, and I give her a kissy face to go with it. All right, there we go. Now I'm back. Okay. Now, visually, this is an absolutely, beautiful spirit. I don't think you can get any more beautiful than that. It is just a wonderful copper color, or maybe kind of a honey brown in the glass. It does have, I don't know if you can see or not, it does have some really, really good legs on it. I almost spilled some swirling it, and that would be a crime. Now the nose. The nose only has a very tiny bit of alcohol burn to it. It seems to be very smooth. I get oak and vanilla. I pick up some baking spice notes and just a just a little bit of fruitiness. Uh, I, I I have Crown Royal in my collection. I've got blackberry, I've got vanilla, I've got plain, regular Crown, but it's a really good spirit and probably kind of an overlooked spirit here in the U.S. because bourbon has been such a big thing, you know. But it has a great aroma to it. It's almost one of those you're like, could I get a Bath and Body Works candle that smells like this? That'd be awesome. Because it is. I mean, I said it had oak and vanilla, but you probably want to put that vanilla and oak because the vanilla is really the more predominant aroma you get off of it. Mm. But on the palate, now it is more oak forward on the palate, um, but you get brown sugar, kind of the sweetness. To me, Canadian whiskeys are more like Irish whiskeys. They're on the sweeter side, um, and then you get. Sorry, I bumped the table, which jarred the camera. Uh, but you get light baking spices, a little hint of pepper. There's some kind of berries mixed in there, and just a touch of alcohol burn. It is 80 proof, so it's really kind of at the like minimum level. Uh, to not, once you get below that, it's typically only the like infused whiskeys or infused spirits altogether. That like Malibu and that kind of stuff, and the rums where the coconut. I actually do love those. I'm not a whiskey purist. Uh, I really do like coconut rum. I could drink it straight and have. The finish is very smooth. Uh, you get some really nice, again, oak and vanilla. And there is just um, the slightest hint of whiskey burn down the sides of your tongue on the finish. And the finish is, I would say it's probably a medium finish. Um, or maybe medium long because it's definitely not short, but it does kind of fade away fairly quickly. Um, so medium to medium long. It's definitely not a long finish. So we know that. And I'm sorry, like I said, I've already done my other podcast for the day, The Political Patriot, where I drink whiskey and talk politics. So I'm already, and I did Buffalo Trace. I don't really talk about, I tell them what I'm drinking for the day, but I don't really talk about spirits and cigars. But uh, the the spirit of the day for that podcast was Buffalo Trace. I really do like Crown Royal. I mean, it's really good spirit. Like I said, this doesn't get enough run because of all of the uh, out there spirits that are around with and you talk about Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace has Weller and Eagle Rare, and all of the really expensive lines in those, especially in Weller. Uh, but I mean, Crown Royal they just do what they do. They're like, hey, we make whiskey, eh? So that's all they do. Now let's go on ahead and go on to the spirit. I mean the stick. Um, now I know basically everyone that knows anything about cigars has heard of Arturo Fuente, and I may have said Arturio. It's not Arturio, it's Arturo. Um, they have been around for 112 years. And they have been blending and rolling some of the best cigars. Um, his two sons came along. They're now in the business. You fast forward today, and it is about, it's up in the top 2 or 3 of most recognized cigar brands. You'll get, some like Punch that they're just really, they're probably more well-known simply because they've been seen in, movies or whatever. And I actually happen to have one of those here today, too. I was going to smoke a cigar while I was talking politics, but I didn't get around to it. So, and you can actually, this Especiales Cazadores, you can pick up for, I think I got a 5-pack for less than $5 a stick. It is not it's not an expensive stick to buy. It is definitely budget friendly. This one is a Toro. Try to stay centered. The filler is Dominican mixed. Don't really know what that means, but okay. The binder is Dominican, and the wrapper is a Ecuadorian Habano, and it is a medium strength cigar. Now, visually, as you can tell, those of you that are on the live stream, it is on the lighter side of brown, more of a tan. It's not really a looker overall. I mean, it's not like an elegant stick, but it does have really good overall construction with a little bit of tooth, a little bit of veining, and the seams are very tight, but they are visible. I think those of you on the live stream, you can see that. And the veining is minimal. There's not a lot of it, but what there is fairly pronounced. You can see it. And then it has a beautiful, beautiful triple cap on the nose. I get, first off, I get fresh earth. Then I get some caramel, maybe some pecans in there, and a little bit of baking spice. I mean, it's a really great stick as far as the aroma goes. And the fresh earth may border on barnyard or stables. I know some of you are probably listening going, why would I want to smoke something that smells like stables? Hey, I love being in, like you go to the fair, the Texas State Fair, that's what we go. You go into the stockyard barns where the horses and stuff are, and you just want to stay, I mean, yeah, it probably does smell like horse poop, but that's just the ambiance. You love it, I love it because I love animals. But not to get off track. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this thing. I am using my Cassetti multi-cutter. Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez got that for me for Christmas, I believe it was, and I love it. We were down in Little Havana in Miami, seeing our son who lives in Miami, and she sent him back because I liked this in the case, and she sent him back to get it, and didn't tell me, so I got it for Christmas. But there it is, completely undone. It has the punch at one end, the guillotine cutter, and the V cutter. I very rarely ever use the guillotine. I prefer the V-cut, but like torpedo cigars, it's really much easier if you guillotine as opposed to V-cut it. It's just the way they're made. But for this one, since this is just a regular Toro, we're going to go ahead and V-cut it if I can get it done without effing it up. That's okay. That's a pretty good cut. It's a pretty good cut. It's a little off, but not bad. So, here we go. Probably the predominant flavor in the cold draw is raisins. And I may say that a lot because I get a lot of raisin notes. I get raisin notes on a lot of different cigars on the cold draw. I do get some barnyard and a little bit of hay, maybe a little leather creaminess. and then just a hint of cedar. So it's a nice stick. I mean, it's a very budget-friendly, very good stick. I've paired it before, but it's been quite a while. It's been probably close to 2 years. So these have been sitting in my humidor, aging ever since. All right, let's go ahead and light this. If this is your first time watching, I've got my Rocky Patel Envoy. The Envoys are hard to find because they've come out with a new one. I had one that was purple instead of blue, and I've lost it. I had it for a couple of years, and I don't know what happened to it. It could have been when the house was under reconstruction after Winter Storm Uri, or when we got the roof replaced. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and fire this one up. It's a 5-torch. I much prefer it. You know, some people want to use single torch or double torch or whatever. I prefer the 5-torch. I can judge my distance to the flame, but I can still get it really, really toasted up well. And you can find a lot of the stuff that I use, I have on the Sticks-n-Stonez Amazon page on Amazon. Yeah, just go Sticks-n-Stones, and you'll find us. I just realized how far away I was from the microphone for the recording for the audio. You guys on live stream, it's fine because the microphone's right here, but I don't know if I can move this without effing it up. But there's the big Yeti. No, blue. It's made by the same people that make the Yeti. It's right there beside you. I'm actually touching both with my hands. Of course, I have very large hands. It's probably 6 or 8 inches away. Y'all don't ever realize because you just see me. But anyway, you're not here to talk about me. I do like the kind of the political patriot format where I just come on and I just kind of rattle on for about a half hour about politics. This does require me to stay kind of focused. I get quite a bit of cedar and then the leather kind of creaminess. There's some cinnamon mixed with a little bit of earthiness. There are some really pleasant, sweeter notes of cocoa, creamy kind of caramel or caramel, however you say it. It kind of comes a little later. There's some black pepper on the Retro Inhale. For those of you that don't know, the Retro is instead of blowing the smoke out of your mouth, it comes out your nostrils. And you do, in the olfactory senses there, you will pick up some things that might not be in the palate. I mean, an Arturo Quinte at $5 a stick, roughly. I mean, that's a great deal. I may need to go buy more of these. I've still got a couple left. I think I've got 3. I got a 5-pack. Maybe 2, because I smoked one. Then I did a review with something else a couple of years ago, and then these have sat in my humidor ever since. So, a little thing popped up that President Trump just wished Kamala Harris a happy birthday while he's at McDonald's running the fries. You need to go listen to the Political Patriot. I am a Donald Trump fan, although I'm not a Republican. I'm libertarian. But I love some of the shit he does. It's just funny. So I'm taking my girls to school in the morning. They're both in high school. This is the last 2. Not having no more. This is enough. I'm too old. but I'll hear commercials. I listen to, like, I don't know, Breitbart or Fox or whatever on Sirius XM, and they'll come on with the Trump sneakers. This dude is making sneakers that are gold, not actual physical gold, but just gold in color. And it just makes me laugh. All right. Uh, I do think that these are going together very well. The Crown Royal is not an overbearing spirit. It's it's very accommodating, I guess you'd say. And the notes that you get in it of like brown sugar, kind of that sweetness, and some baking spices, and maybe even just some little hint of fruit and berries, are they really go well with the baking spices and the cocoa sweet notes in the stick. They are they do go very well together, and I think this is going to, even though this is not like a sexy pairing, it's a good pairing, and I think they're going to go very well together. So for those of you that are on the audio, on the podcast, I'll be back with you guys when I get to about the halfway mark. And if you're not watching me on live stream, what the hell are you doing? You should be. I've got people on live stream right now. They're getting to see they're going to get to see the full glory of all of this. You need to be on the live stream. The problem is you have to be hanging around on Sunday afternoon waiting, because you never know exactly when I'm going to go on. I'm trying to get more specific, but I got family, you know, and they require stuff. So I'm not always like punctual when it comes to stuff like this. If I hang on. All right, for those of you on the audio, I will see you at about the halfway mark. I will be back to give you my halfway thoughts. That was just completely effed up. Uh, I was just, I like to just BS with you guys when I'm on live stream. Um, but I was trying to get them cut off, and it wasn't a smooth cut off. That was kind of a rambling around kind of cut off. I sound kind of like Tim Walls. I'm telling you, this is a very, very good cigar to be an inexpensive Fuente. It is. It's really good. Uh, I'd gone back and looked at my notes for the first time I paired it, and I think I probably like it more now than I did then. And the Crown Royal XO, you know, this was, I got the half fifth, the 375 milliliter, and I don't think it was a lot. Let's go back and look, because I've had it a little while. But hey, it's compared to a lot of the bourbons and scotches that are out there, it was a very economical spirit. The problem is they had already changed names from something else to XO, and I think they have now changed names again. So, and unfortunately, I was not prepared enough to tell you what that was. So, I will say that on the Fuente, and this probably has something to do with my humidor, because I'm always afraid it's over humidified because I don't like bloom. Some people call it bloom. I call it mold on my cigars. And if I'm going to spin something, I'm going to burn it. I'm not going to throw it away. But it has gotten a little dry and cracked a little bit. But like right, oh, it's on there. I can't. I've got a King Chi humidor, the electric cabinet that's got cedar drawers in it, but it looks like a mini fridge. It'll hold 650 cigars. I think I'd probably get it up close to 1,000 if I tried. But it is very, very good at keeping the humidity and the temperature at where you set it. And I had mine set, excuse me, on the upper side of the 68 to 72 range that you want as far as humidity. and I now have it down at 68 because I had to throw like 3 or 4 cigars away, and that kills me. I don't mind burning money, but I don't want to throw money in the trash. And yeah, throwing money in the trash really pisses me off. All right, I'm going to set that somewhere else. I bumped it on the sound material frame when I picked it up, put it back down. I don't want to chip my Glencairn. Y'all are pretty much going to get the full experience of this as we go along because I just stay on live stream. But when the podcast comes out, the audio only, it literally could be 2 weeks or a month from now. I've got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes built up that I haven't posted yet that I've done live streams on. I just haven't posted the audio. So I was really, when I came back to this after the summer was over, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be quite as stiff and got to get this way, got to get this way. I'm going to be more of like, just hanging loose. Yeah, it's really ended up that way. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please feel free to give me a comment. Let me know. I can't see the comments, so I don't know what you're saying. But, that is a really, really good cigar. All right, I'm going to do something other than whiskey. I actually have, I guess if you count the 2 different whiskeys I have 4 drinks out here right now. I've got Crown Royal XO, I've got Buffalo Trace, I've got a Dr. Pepper Zero. It's my favorite soda. And then while it's in the Yeti, you can't tell it, but I have a Canada Dry Ginger Ale, 0 sugar. So, watching my weight. I've lost 60 pounds in the last June, July, August, September, October. 16 months. And I did it. I did go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. Do the elliptical. I've got a bad back. I've got one bad hip. I've got a couple of bad knees. So I can't like run or anything like that. So I do the elliptical. And then I have this app, and I don't get paid for this. I'm just telling you how it will work for me, called Lose It. And it the way you start is you tell it how many pounds you want to lose and how long you have to lose that. So like trying to prepare for a 20th high school reunion or something. So you give it a date, and then it tells you how many calories you can have per day to get you down to that weight. And that's not taking into account the exercise that you do. So I'm sorry, I keep looking up. I've got the NFL Network on, and I'm watching the updates for the NFL. But you go in, and you'll say add breakfast, and you'll add in the items. And there's some stuff in there that you would not think would be there. Like, we went to Mikasina Friday night. Maybe it was last night. Yeah, it was the last night. Mikasina, it's a Tex-Mex place here in the DFW area. And I had some sort of tacos. I can't remember what they were. They had steak in them. It wasn't tacos al carbon, which is my favorite. But anyway, I put those. I typed that into my thing for dinner, and it popped up with the nutritional information. I went, yep, that's how many I had and everything. And then you put in, if you have the rice or beans or anything like that you have with it. And it tells you, it keeps track of your calories that way. And then when you go to the gym, it gives you more calories for that day. And then once you hit your goal, it rebalances your calorie intake and tells you what you have every day to keep you at the weight you're at. And that doesn't factor into, I worked out today. So now I'm working. I go to the gym, do the elliptical once or twice a week for about a half hour, and I have like, I don't know, 2,500 calories a day. And like I went to the gym yesterday, and I had like 31 or 3,200 calories for yesterday. I didn't eat all of them. I ended up about 200 or 300 under, but I'm nearly 1,000 under for the week. But I'm roughly 215 pounds where I was 275. So I think I did pretty good. And I watched, this all started when my doctor at the VA told me I was type 2 diabetic. And I told him he was smoking crack, and he got pissed at me. And I was like, well, you don't label me, I won't label you. And I went on this big diet and exercise kick. And like I said, I'm now starting to push into getting closer to 2 years. And now it's just maintaining. I've been roughly 215. It depends on what you've eaten and when you weigh and all that, but plus or minus 215. And I've been that for like, I don't know, 2 months, something like that. But I track the things I eat every day. If I have ice cream, like I have the Nick's Swedish ice cream, or I live here in Texas, HEB. HEB's got some zero sugar ice cream. That allows me to have the things that I want, but without all of the fat and sugar and calories. But 6 months after he told me I was a type 2, my regular doctor told me, nope, not anymore. You put it in remission. And she said, I have only seen a few people that have done it in 12 months, and you are the first person I've ever seen do it in 6 months. So I'm like, you have to say, I'm going to do this. That's all it takes. I need to go and get some more Arturo Fuente Hemingways. I think other than the Javas or Tobacco Especial, or kind of the coffee infused, the Hemingway is probably my favorite cigar. A lot of it is just the fact that I'm a huge Hemingway fan. But I love that cigar, and it mixes very, very well with the Glenlivet Caribbean rum cask finish, where they take the Scotch and they age it. They finish age it in Caribbean rum casks, and those go so well together. And this cigar, really, I'm getting, we're probably a third of the way in it. Really hasn't changed all that much. I haven't really been given a lot of new notes. It's still really just holding steady with what you were given in the beginning. And I mean it's a good thing in the sense that it's maintaining, it's staying stable, but also, and some people may like, well, I want one that kind of gives me different things as I go through the cigar. I'm good either way. I mean, I'm smoking a cigar, I'm sitting on the patio, I'm drinking whiskey, I'm watching the NFL. It is a beautiful day out. It's in the 70s. I mean, we'll have about 2 weeks of fall. That's Texas. We'll have about 2 weeks of fall, maybe a month. Then we'll have about 2 weeks of winter, and the rest of the year is spring and summer. That's pretty much it. I love Texas, though. Best state in the country to live, the Republic of Texas. And I do really love kind of the cocoa and creamy sweetness on this stick. It's really good. I've already tapped my ash off because I was afraid it was going to drop in my lap. But it is, I mean, it's kind of a wavy burn. Could be my lighting, but it's been that way the entire time. And I'm okay with that. It just makes it more natural. The machine-made sticks, yeah, I don't smoke any of those. I did when I was younger and inexperienced, but, now See, I like to hold up my little pinky when I'm smoking this. That's the way you're supposed to do it. That is just a really, really great kind of medium strength, uh, non-Connecticut cigar. I'm not a big Connecticut broadleaf fan. It's just me. Uh, if you are a kind of an old hand in the cigar smoking world, you know, you have your favorites and everything. People that are getting into cigars for the first time, don't stay away from Connecticut's because I said I'm not really a fan. Uh, they are, you know, the Connecticut broadleaf is a really great leaf. I just prefer the darker leaves. Uh, but when you are first getting into cigars, you probably want to kind of stay in that Connecticut range. You know, it's kind of like riding a bike. You start off with training wheels and you move up. It's kind of the same thing. Uh, Stick with the Connecticut's right away and then kind of build up to the, you know, the Habanos and Maduros and Escoro, you know, that they're almost black. Yeah, those are really strong. You don't want to don't jump on those right away. Work your way up. That's the best advice a cigar smoker can give you. Work your way up because it's not a pleasant trip if you don't do it that way. I just cannot get used to the Las Vegas Raiders. They're like playing football in the desert. We're still going really strong with, you know, some cedar and leather and cinnamon, a little bit of baking spice. There's a little bit of, you know, mild earthiness in it. Uh, and then there's some cocoa and caramely kind of sweetness more towards the finish. Um, and it's a, you know, sort of a medium to medium short finish. It's not a long finish at all, which blends really well with the Crown Royal. I keep trying to say Canadian Club. I don't even think I've ever tried Canadian Club. If I had, I didn't know it. And then the Crown Royal XO is, again, it's got some kind of like, you know, brown sugar sweetness in it. Then you get some oak and vanilla and maybe a little bit of berry in there. Uh, so this is a really good spirit. I mean, I like Crown Royal overall, but, you know, you're trying to, you know, it's like you're trying to keep up appearances. Well, you know, I'm drinking the Macallan 12-year-old. I'm drinking uh, Weller Antique 107. You know, that doesn't quite hold up with the Crown Royal XO, but it's a really good spirit for the price point. And it does, even though I tapped it off earlier, I was afraid it'd fall in my lap. You know, burn line still just a little wavy, but really some beautiful stacks of nice whitish gray ash on the end of this stick. I mean, it's Arturo Fuente, right? And if you haven't heard, I have another podcast. Uh, that one is The Political Patriot, where I talk more politics, the Constitution, all that kind of stuff. I have a spirit of the day. this time, this time it was Buffalo Trace. So I'm already several ounces in because I did that one live stream right before I did this one. And if you hadn't heard of that one, go check it out. It's on Spotify just like this is, the Political Patriot Podcast. Uh, I think, the first episode out on YouTube. I got to get the second episode posted out there this week. And then I just did the third episode a few minutes ago. So I talk politics, the Constitution. I have a spirit of the day, may get froggy and have a cigar, but I'm not focusing on the cigar and the spirit. It's just kind of one of those things that Kind of takes up time, you know. The Washington Commanders. It's the Redskins. Stop being so politically correct. There's a little breeze where I try to blow some rings. I'm not very good at it. Yeah, blowing is not my thing. There's like all kinds of, there's like petitions and stuff out to have to bring back the Redskins name, and the owner of the Commanders said that's not going to happen. You know, it's like the Seminole tribe. They sued because they sued the NCAA because the NCAA was going to make Florida State go to a different mascot and not use Seminoles. And the Seminole tribe is like, no, we want to be the mascot. And so they get to, you know, they got to use it. And it's just a bunch of BS. You know, people that are just too wussified, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. Otherwise, I'll get beeped or something. Too beep. Yeah, that. Well, Washington's up 17-0. Not even close to halftime yet. They are playing the Jaguars. I guess I thought it was live that I was watching this morning. I don't know. Maybe they were. I thought I was watching them live this morning. I thought maybe they were playing in London or something. It's like, it's not American football anymore. We have to export it. We have to go play in Germany, Berlin, and London. And why? Why we got to go over there? Their football is soccer. Let them have that. The Bayern Munich Reds. That's my team. My name, Elrod, is German, and we are from the southwestern part of Germany in the Bavarian Alps. So, dude, I'm working over here. We were headed to a niece and nephew's. These are adult nephew, adult nephew. Their house is they're having a Halloween party, and we were driving down the road. There's a like small community type airport, like a local, not for like private planes. And I see a plane go over landing, and I'm like, man, that's a biplane. It's like World War One. And then I look, and right behind it comes a float plane, and I'm like, I didn't think there was a lake over there. I'd never seen a float plane land on the ground, so I don't know how that happened, but don't know how that worked out, but I guess it was okay. Still stacking up the ash really well. Still holding in there with a little bit of barnyard, a little bit of leather, a little bit of cedar, maybe some some cinnamon and earthy notes to it. It's a really great cigar, and it really blends well with the Crown. I keep trying to call it Canadian Club, the Crown Royal XO. Uh, the XO has some brown sugar sweetness to it, where this has got some like cocoa kind of sweetness, and then you've got oak and vanilla, and there's a little light berry fruitiness in it. Really good. I'm really impressed with what is, relatively speaking, an inexpensive spirit. But as I said, if you're joining me late, I think they have since renamed it. I don't think it's XO anymore. It was something else, and then they renamed it XO, even though it's basically the same spirit. And I think they renamed it again, of 50 different whiskeys. I'm going to go ahead and bring the other folks back in. so that we can, because we're about the halfway mark. So, hey, stoners, I am back here at the halfway mark, and both of these, the Spirit and the Stick, have really just shined individually, but they've also enhanced their respective, qualities across back and forth, whatever. The smoothness of the Spirit kind of helps mellow out some of the earthiness that's in the cigar, allowing you to really kind of, I don't know, fully appreciate both. Because that's what, you don't want one to overpower the other. You want them to complement each other. And kind of fill in those cracks or holes or whatever. Uh, similarly, the Arturo Fuente Especiales alongside the Crown Royal XO, when you take sips of that, it really, brings out the full dimension of the Spirit. Uh, this is really a great pairing, and it's a fairly economical pairing. If you're joining me late on the live stream, these sticks, I got a 5-pack, and they were right around $5 a stick. That's not bad at all, especially when you're talking about a Fuente. And the Crown Royal was very economical. I've got a 375 milliliter. I think it was somewhere around $20. I'm thinking. Can't really exactly remember, but that's about right. So, but the kind of the brown sugary sweetness that's in the Crown Royal is mixing well with the more cocoa sweetness that's in the stick, and then they both have a little bit of baking spice. The Crown Royal then also has some oak and some vanilla. Really, really good combination here, and I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the band, and then I will come back and give you my final thoughts. See, that wasn't that easy enough. Talked about this some on the Political Patriot podcast before I came here, and my Texas A&M Aggies did very well yesterday. Went into Mississippi State, which Mississippi State's not ranked, but, and this is what I say constantly, and I was able to say that with a fist raised in the air this morning, that any SEC team can beat any other SEC team on any given day. They're just that, it's that tough of a conference. And so I was able to tell the Texas fan, yeah, y'all talked a bunch of crap about how y'all were going to come in and mop the floor with the SEC, and then you lost. So far, A&M is they're at the peak of the conference standings. They're number one because they're 4-0 in the conference. And we still have LSU, which is always a tough game. And then we're going to play Texas at the very last game of the season, first time in several years. And it really could go either way. I know Texas has been number one, but you've seen, as yesterday with the Georgia Bulldogs, they can be beaten. And so, I mean, it's going to be a great game. We may lose it, we may win it, but I think I could say we're going to win out until the last game of the season, but there's always a chance that, there's always a chance LSU can beat you. But I think we have probably a better row to hoe between now and the last game of the season than Texas does. And Texas, they've only beat, I think, they beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma's ranked at the time, but Oklahoma's been a disaster ever since. I mean, we started the season off, one of our what's supposed to be patsy games that you're supposed to win. We played Notre Dame, the number 5 team in the country. We lost that one. That's our only loss. And I will also say, since we're just BSing here, we're 50 minutes in, and I know I haven't been tending this cigar quite like I should because I'm doing a lot of talking. But we're a little more than halfway done. We've been at it now for 50 minutes, which probably 30 minutes on the cigar because we were probably 10 minutes in when I lit it. And it's a really good cigar. It's not a super slow burner, but it burns a little slower than average. So you'll probably get a good hour out of this stick. It's 6 by 50 on the ring gauge. And I'm not speaking of ring gauges, I'm not a slender cigar kind of guy. 50 is like my floor. I know you have like the Lonsdales, which will be like 6 inches by 48 on the ring gauge, or there's some that are even like the cigarellos that are like even down into the low 40s, upper 30s. No, 50, that's the minimum. And although I have much respect for him and loved his passion for cigars, I'm also not a Churchill guy. I don't like six to maybe 6.25. That's about my max. Yeah, I had a 770 diesel. I think they called it the flathead or something like that, and it was 7 inches long and a 70 on the ring gauge. And I think I took a knife and cut it down to like 5 inches. I still couldn't smoke it. It was too much. I'm like, I can't do this. Yeah, know your limits when it comes to cigar smoking. It's not like cigarettes. Cigars will make you sick. They will make you nauseous. You try to smoke them too fast, you're supposed to enjoy the experience. Take some time. Hey, I think Mama's home. Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez. I am a Iraq and Afghanistan veteran, and I've got like 5 cameras around the house. I can see the front yard from 2 different cameras. Got the backyard covered. I got the kitchen covered. I got the living room covered. And I do still think, those of you that haven't listened to the whole thing, maybe you're coming in on the live stream late. These are the Arturo Fuente Especiales Cazadores. It's been in my humidor for a couple of years. I bought a 5-pack, and I paired one 18 months ago or so. So I'm breaking another one out, and it's probably a little bit dry. I was having a problem with my King Chi electric cigar cabinet, keeping it was so good, it was keeping the humidor too humid. And so I cut the humidity down to like 68%, and I'm trying to get it fixed because it was split when I lit it, and I can see maybe another split right here as the stick is starting to warm up down in this part of it. So I don't know if you can see it or not on the live stream, but there's a horizontal split. So that is one thing. If you're not, I know a lot of people that are on Instagram and stuff like that, they smoke sometimes multiple cigars a day. I don't do that. I generally don't have time. But for people that are like me, that you enjoy cigars, but you're not smoking them every day and that kind of stuff, and it really is, it's work to make sure that your humidor stays where it needs to be. Where it needs to be is between 68 and 72 degrees and between 68 and 72% humidity. If you get over that, you can have mold grow on your cigars. They are organic matter. And if you get it too dry, they can crack because the leaves are aged before they're rolled. And by the time they get to you, it's very easy. Hang on. Sorry. Something And I know it's fall, and I guess it's probably not something quote unquote blooming. It's as the leaves are dying and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been a little bit congested, and my voice is a little raspy today, but I'm all right. I'm not sick or nothing. This is just a really, really great cigar. Even the smoke coming off of it, it's not offensive to the olfactory senses. Uh, you're fine with it wafting around, uh, where some of them are, you know, the smoke can be kind of harsh. Uh, so choose your sticks wisely. I do a lot of going down to Cigars International down in the Colony, Texas. Yeah, the name of the town is the Colony, uh, right near White Settlement. I didn't name it. That's just where it is. Uh, but they have the largest humidor I've ever been in there at the Cigars International location. It's like going into a grown fella's Chuck E. Cheese. I can go and wander around in that humidor for hours. Uh, but I'll buy a cigar, maybe a couple, pick up a few 5 packs. Uh, and that's how I come up with these. I'll smoke, see what I think about it. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Try to pair it. That's why you really probably don't see a lot of like really bad reviews on my part, because I kind of check it out before I do it. I don't just do it cold. It's a little different with the spirit than it is with the cigar. I have had, I think I've mentioned this a few times in the last 6 months or so, I've only had one spirit that I've ever just been, that's terrible. That's horrible. And I did a short, a reel or whatever you want to call it, of me pouring the spirit down the drain in the kitchen. The only spirit I've ever done that with, ever. But it was terrible, and I won't call their name, and I didn't show their name on the video. I was going to be respectful, because I'm sure there's people that do like it, but I didn't like it. The only other one that I really can say, I've reviewed Talisker, I've reviewed Bruichladdich, some of the more Islay associated uh, region scotches, and I can drink them and I can appreciate them. Uh, but I did give away one scotch. I gave it away. It wasn't so bad. I hope they're not going to mow right over here on the other side of the fence. Uh, again, I could appreciate the scotch, but I didn't like the scotch. To me, it was so smoky and so peaty. It tasted like somebody had stirred up some ashes from a campfire, and that's what you were drinking. And I gave that away. Yeah, and I was happy to do it, because I was never going to drink it. The Talisker, I need to review that again. Talisker is from the what island is it from? The Isle of Skye, I think. And it is more smoky and peaty than I really prefer, but it's got this saltiness from the sea air, because it's on a smaller island. That you can appreciate it. You can really appreciate the spirit, even though you may not be into the smoke and peat. And if you want to try Scotch, don't start there. Uh, don't start with Islay. There's 5 Scotch producing regions. Start with Speyside, Highland, maybe even Lowland, but definitely don't do Islay. Uh, yeah, that's not a good. There's a lot. Bruichladdich, the classic Lottie. That Scotch is, to me, low smoke and low peat from a distiller that distills in an area that's high smoke and high peat. It's very distinctive as far as the bottle. You can't miss it. It's baby blue, the whole bottle. Uh, it's probably about $70 or $75 a bottle, and I could be overshooting it a little bit. but it's a really good Scotch. And there is I can't remember if it's Netflix or not, but it's a documentary that's done on one of those channels or one of those things like Netflix that where they talk about the golden water, the golden spirit, something like that. And it is a documentary about Brooklotic. And this guy, I can't remember his name now, he's Scottish. He started working for distilleries when he was like 15 or 16 years old. And I think he's now retired twice. He's in his 70s. He was brought in to open up this old distillery to, and I can't remember if it was Brooklotic before or not, but that's what it was named after he reopened it. And within a matter of just a couple of years, he took the Classic Latte to gold medal at the International Spirits Competition or whatever. And it is a really good spirit. I like it a lot. I need to buy some more of it. I love that. It's not hanging in the glass quite as much as some cigars have, but it's still hanging there. I just love to see that. It's like smoke on the water. What group was that from the 70s? Mm, that's really good spirit, if you can find it. The Crown Royal XO. You know, it may, I don't have anything I can look up on right now without screwing something up, but I think it's changed names. But if you just Google Crown Royal XO, I kind of got out of um, what do you call it? The affiliate marketing thing. It just wasn't working. Nobody was buying anything. I wasn't making any money. I'm sure glad I wasn't trying to do that for a full-time job. Hmm. Got ashes on my Zoom audio recorder. A little breeze, so it doesn't come up quite as good. But uh, yeah, I'm this is the second or third time I've smoked this cigar, and it is really a good cigar to not be one of the like flashy Arturo Fuentes. It's a really great budget-friendly cigar. Uh, I'd love to be able to pair like the Opus X or the Fuente or whatever, but yeah, I just if Arturo Fuente would give Mencia the green label one it's box pressed like a stop sign. Squirrel. That's the way I am all the time. Oh, squirrel. Uh, but it's like $25 a stick, and while I would love to pair it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to invest $25 into one cigar. I've got 5 of these for that. But I do enjoy premium cigars. So, I would love to have it. I just don't want to invest that kind of money into something I'm going to set fire to. Uh, and I know we're talking Fuentes here, but Plasencia is another. I'm friends with a guy that he is the local brand ambassador here in the Texas area for Plasencia, and they make some really great cigars. They don't do a lot. It's not like Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel comes up with blends for everything. He came up with a blend for his 60th birthday, and that's probably one of my top favorite cigars. Uh, it was really great, and it's not, like I love the Hemingway, and even though the cigar is really good, it's really kind of more the fact that it's a Hemingway, and I love Hemingway's writing. But the Rocky Patel 60 is literally, to me, one of the best cigars on the market. It is wonderful. The first time I paired it with the Dalmore 12-year-old Scotch. It was perfect. Both of them had this kind of chocolate-covered cherry things kind of going on, and it was probably one of the best cigar and spirit experiences I'd ever had. Smoke production on this one is still pretty good, although as we're getting farther down, it seems to be I'm having to draw a little harder on it. We'll touch it up a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Smoke output there. I don't think I'm going to drink anymore. I think I have what I need as far as the show goes. We got a few more minutes on the stick, but we're getting there. We're almost there. And if you have any comments about either the stick or the spirit, feel free to share them. I can't see it. I haven't figured all that stuff out on this live stream thing. I know it's going out. It's actually made it onto the air. I can see I have people watching, but I'm not that well versed in this kind of stuff. Yeah, like it says, never miss a comment. Click on a chat message to display it on the screen. Somebody send me a message and let me know that you're there. And if I don't answer, that means it's because I can't see it, because I'm watching. Oh, commercial for the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento cheese chicken sandwich. Let me tell you, if you ain't had one, you need to have one of those before they take it away, because it's a limited time only. I've had them 2 or 3 times. I've had the spicy chicken fillet, which I thought was a little too spicy. And then I've had the original chicken fillet with the pimento cheese and honey and pickled jalapenos. Just right. It was delicious. This is Sunday, so you can't get it today. Dude, quit running over stuff. I'm trying to record over here. But, I mean, I love Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is delicious. But that sandwich, they need to make that a permanent addition. I guess that means I'm going to have to finish this up, because I ain't going to be able to deal with that for too long. Yeah, there you go. Tear your mower up. And we're at an hour and 7 minutes already, too. I don't think I've ever gone this long. And that's what she said. All right, I'm going to go ahead and talk to the people on audio on the podcast, and I'll come back to you guys. But, please feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Hey, Stoners, I am back. We are almost down to the band, and the glass is empty. The Crown Royal XO and the Arturo Fuente Especiales Cazadores was a very, very good match. You could really tell that the shared commitment to quality, the complementary flavors, they really enhance the sensory experience, and it makes these two. I'm sorry about the mower. I thought I had him turned off. It makes for a really great economical experience. The Crown Royal XO is not like a $7,500 bottle. If you can even find it listed as XO anymore, I think they've changed the name, but it's the same spirit. You should really try these. They are very good together. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, so you'll know when I drop new content. I'm constantly sharing stuff from the alcohol and cigar world, That kind of lets you know what's going on out there. Definitely hit share it a lot. That's how I grow. And I hope to see you the next time on Sticks and Stones. But until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day. That's a wrap. So it's now just down to you guys. So, all right, I'm going to turn this off. They're performing on stage so they can hear themselves. So that's what I have. So I know kind of what I'm sounding like. But I don't have anything different to tell you guys other than this is a great budget-friendly pairing. Great. This is definitely, oh shit, forgot. I hope y'all been able to hear me. I forgot my microphone was on my earbuds. Whatever they call these things. Clip it on my shirt. And I forgot what I was talking about too. So it's been one of those kind of days. I'm enjoying the last day before going back to work again. I love my job, but you know, I tell my little ones that are still at home, and I say little ones, they're 15, 16, or 14, 15, that it's called work because you don't enjoy it. It's work. If it were fun, it'd be called fun, but it's not. It's work. So this does kind of give you a little background and you know how things go here. You know, turn the soundboard off. I'm attached to you guys with the volume from here. The thing plugged into my iPhone. There's the blue. I can't remember what the brand. The model is, but it's a great microphone. Love it. And then I have my notes on my iPad. So that's how the show works. But again, nothing really changed throughout the stick. It was very consistent. I mean, you know what you expect from Fuente for it to be a quality product, and it is. Well, I'm going to give you the rest of the day back. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday or whatever day you are watching this. But until we get to be together again,